Hello. Hold on. Give me just a second. I was vibing. Alright. Yeah. I try not to touch this too much, but flexible. Okay. Okay, so if I find if a song comes on that I really need to really be a part of, that'll be changed. You know what? I'm sorry. Let me see if I put it in this spot. Will it be better? Oh, that's kind of sideways, but not at the same time. That's confusing. That's a little confusing. Is it sideways? When I notice. Actually, that's how I know. I'm trying to find something to put underneath it. Hold on. I could do it right. Oh, don't breathe too hard. Okay. That's better. That's better. That's way better. Good, 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 good. We actually, well, there's really no point to this video. We're just making the video because we want to. So that's the point of this video, if anything. But something usually comes out of it. So we'll, see. My music turned off. That's rude. That's fine. I don't feel like turning it back on now. The vibe is gone. Anyway, right? Like where's anything that we're talking about right now? I really don't have anything to talk about. I just felt like I should turn on the camera. I do have something to talk about because that's what I really wanted to do. Let's see how this goes, guys. You're leaning in my backpack and I need to get in it. Excuse me. Yeah. That's exactly what I want to do. The space is blessed. We don't have to worry about that. And we are happy about that. There's a lot of freedom in my world. And I think it's funny. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to apologize for it because I do touch my collarbone a lot. And I was watching back my video and I know it's like rubbing up against this. And I'm just like, can't win for losing. I don't really know how to go about that. And I actually do apologize. It's funny, I have to say I actually do apologize for things that I do apologize for. Because people apologize for things that ain't got nothing, they don't have no control over, and that's annoying to me, although I understand. But, when I actually feel sorry about something, more than likely like in a video, but I guess it's because I don't go like, I'm so sorry, like that, like, because I don't say sorry unless I'm actually sorry, or I apologize. Like, I just don't apologize unless I actually am apologizing for something. So, this is a rose quartz angel. Hold on. I wonder if I do this, will it just zoom in? Not zoom in, but focus on that spot. Focus on it, please. Is this how things work? Oh, that's probably counterproductive right there. At this point, you've probably already done seen it, but you know what? I'm gonna do my best because these are things that people need to learn how to do. So I am learning. It is not working. It's not working at all. Either that or it's just not. It's pretty detailed though. It's more detailed than that. That's fine if you can't see it though. You can see it better than you did because it's focusing on me. But I'm like, I want to see it now. I don't even want to look at this anymore. It's beautiful though. I held it up for so long that I just was like, all right, it's a rose quartz angel. What? But I got it at an intuition, at a crystal shop. It was called House of Intuition. And it was so funny because I've seen the store before, like in general, and I obviously never went in it because I was, you know, not purchasing stuff. I'm not a consumer. Well, now I'm more of a consumer than I ever was, but not really at the same time because you would need to go to the store to actively be a consumer, but I am in the consuming world now and have been for a minute, but a little bit more in the past, but now in my future it doesn't matter as much. But I like buying stuff. I truly do. Like, I've learned the passion of spending money. um, and so I saw the store before and I thought it was funny. And then when I had money to buy a tarot deck because I needed to get a tarot deck. I had one before. It was given to me through a friend by the Lord. However, at some point, the Lord said that it was time for me to pass those on to someone else. So I put them in a package and I had to put them in a trash can at the Metro Center. So they either got picked up or they didn't. It was time for them to go from my life. And now I know why. It's because the nature of the tarot deck. I know about different tarot decks, but I don't necessarily, because like tarot is its own world, really. But right, we're a part of that world. We are that world. Like tarot is a part of us. Like it's an extension of yourself. It's like a tool. It really, it's a tool, but it's like really just, it's fun for me. It's a lot of fun. And through these cards, you get messages from spirit, or like you can ask specific angels. Sometimes mediums, they can use tarot cards. I'm not a palm reader. That's different. I don't know how to do that, so I can't vouch for them, but it lies upon the same spectrum. I'm trying to get comfortable, but like parts of this tree keep falling on me. So if you ever see me like the videos that I've been filming, like I'm right here and like they're just, it's whatever. And then like sometimes there's little bugs like flying around and stuff. And nature is great. And this dress is, it's not shedding anymore. I cleaned it and I'm very happy about that. But the tree is still shedding. So I find like little long red fibers of leaf everywhere. Not everywhere, but like in the spots where you just really wouldn't want that to be happening. Because you don't, I want to spend time in nature, but I would like for nature to not spend so much time in me. Kind of a double standard if we Anyway, yeah, so the House of Intuition, we're going to pass over the tarot explanation, but I might revisit it since this video doesn't really have too much of a topic and we're already talking about something. So that's great. That's great news. So yeah, I needed a new tarot deck. I needed a tarot deck because, man, I hate not having my cards. My cards do keep me company and they have a mind of their own. Spirit has a mind of her own, in general, but like the cards, they have a mind of their own, and it's so much fun to see what they want to tell you. Like, if you want a good encouragement about yourself, just like chill while you're watching anime or while you're watching something on YouTube, listening to music, talking to your friends. I took them to a graduation, to my brother's graduation. I took them with me, and I'm just like shuffling the cards and stuff while I'm watching and whatnot. And it's just a lot of fun to shuffle the cards around. And so the absence of them in my life, I understood why it needed to happen, because I needed to have more faith in our own intuition and stuff like that. So when I watch card readings in general, it's mainly to hear stuff that I already know, and I know that I'm gonna like. What do people find attractive about you? What do people find physically attractive about you? What are they thinking about you right now? And that usually pertains to like a soulmate. But for me, it is specifically my twin flame. So it's always one person, but like it'll be like who is jealous of you, or how like what is your secret admirer thinking? And so like it'll have like different, like those are different people, but there it is him, and then it'll be like someone else or whatnot. Sometimes I like to check on my sometimes I like to check on my cat Tauntaun with the cards. I don't like to read them myself because I would rather someone tell me, because I know that I'll get emotional while I'm doing them. Excuse me. But I also yeah, because when she was with me in the flesh, um, it was the sweetest messages. And I don't care where we go as long as I go with you and whatnot. And you gotta check on your animals. Checking on your children. There are tarot readings for that too. Like you never know what children are going through that you don't understand, especially if you're not apt to understanding fully like emotional distress in children, and like because sometimes they won't show you, and sometimes they'll show you a lot and you don't know what, like is there something wrong, or and so reading their energy in general, like as a person, it's easier, but it's also easier because in the tarot card readings, it's easier for them to tell you things that they may not know how to voice out in person yet, like physically. So they're very helpful. And like, what does your mother think of you? What does your twin's karmic think of you? Which I try to stay out of because there's a lot of negative energy in that. There's not a lot of negative energy in general in that subject. It may or may not be. It depends on your situation. My karmic situation with that is probably a lot better than other people, but everybody's different and has their own struggles. So some karmics tried to kill them, but like straight up, and they're married to them, and it's not just their mother, so it's different. And I'm glad that in my life my karmics are my parents too, like straight up mother and father figure, and that I was able to be not so held down by them. I think father energy really did bother me a lot more than mother energy did, though, because I don't consider myself as close to my father as my father may or may not believe that I am to him. So, and we're not biologically connected either. It's a soul connection, and yeah, I'm really grateful for him. But that is important to the story, because we're talking about cards, which you cannot see them. Hold on, bring them a little closer to me. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we were talking about the cards, and so we're talking about House of Intuition. I wanted to get some more cards, and God said that I could get them, and so I was really happy about that, and I had money to do so. So I went, and I was like, I need crystals too, because that's important. I don't care if I never pull the crystals out. Normally I do, because I'm a big fan of them. But like, I pretty much always get an amethyst. I had a huge amethyst, like not huge, because I've seen some huge amethysts in a lot of card readings. You might be able to see it if I do this. I've been wanting to use this as like a backdrop for, not a back, you get what I mean, for my cards, but like you haven't been able to see the table of which they will, be in the first place. So you never get to see it, but now you can. Oh, that's great. That's great. But yeah, I normally get amethyst. I had a bigger one that had like the back, like the gray backing of it, and it wasn't even that expensive. I think it was like $10, and it was probably about the size of my fist. And I loved it, and I kept it with me for a while throughout my journey, but I got separated from everything, actually. I've lost everything a couple times throughout this journey, so it's not really with us anymore. And then rose quartz, I always have some form of that. I had some, like the prisms, the stand-up prisms, and they were about the size of my thumb. And I had that in clear quartz onyx, which I gave to someone very special to me. And, debatable on this if they still have that. That's interesting. Yeah, so I gave that one to them. And then I had amethyst was also in that form, and rose quartz was also in that form. I think there was a smoky quartz, but I can't remember. I can't quite remember because that felt like eons ago, but it really was like 2 years ago. Two and a half. I don't know what. I don't know. Gosh dang it. Listen to me. Energy really is fluid, y'all. Energy really is fluid. Because it just seems like such a long time ago that I was just sitting outside in my backyard and I'm just chilling with my friend and like just shuffling my cards. We're having a conversation, and man, you had to hit me where it hurt. Remember when I said the cards had to? Okay, we'll take that one too. Okay, yeah, all right, okay, that's fair. I'm gonna dispose a lot of dispose. Dispel? I don't think that word even works in here. What are we talking about? Yeah. So I was talking about how like I was shuffling and I was sitting down with my friends that she lived with me at that time, and we would be talking about anything, whatever, doesn't matter. Or I'd be watching something, smoking a joint, smoking a bowl. Those were great times. They really were. I'm very reminiscent. I am a Scorpio Venus, and I think that really does have a lot to do with why I was able to find so much happiness in that time and like go back to it, but also because my pinnacle of happiness has changed form. And so now I am actually able to believe that I can be even happier because I'm inspired in different ways than I was before. So, yeah, that is what I considered my 10 of Cups at that time. And honestly, I did spend a lot of time under the moon, specifically the full moon. They say that you have like 3 or 4 days of full moon, but like honestly, I saw the full moon all the time, and I would always look for the moon, and it would always be full or like close to full, or like like that little where it's about to be a full moon but it's not a full moon, or it was a full moon the other day but now it's like a little bit less. And of course we've seen the super moon. That's not the point here, but like I've seen it a lot. It would be like a week long, and I mean 7 days a week. I don't mean the school week like of full moon. But 10 of Cups is about like full happiness, from like emotional fulfillment. And so at that time, that is really what I was feeling. Like I was eternally happy. Like I was so happy. There were a lot of upsets happening in that time in their own way, but let's just say, I would say it was nothing that I couldn't handle, but it was definitely things that shook my world a lot. But after everything kind of settled down, nothing ever really settled down, but I could always say that because that's how my world is. It's like it's always changing. So like when I say settle down, I'm like, okay, we got in a consistent problem solving mode. Does that make sense? And so it was easy and it was fun for us because that's how we've lived our life anyway. That's what I learned through working at Me and Ned's every day. It was energy changing and stuff. So it was really easy for me to change every single day, every single moment, because no way that I tried to run a shift one day was going to work the next day. And if I found that I fell into like a little bit of a niche where things are working like a, smooth oiled machine, and, then, and like I would also like rely on like rituals too. Like at home, I would be like, I'm going to spray this perfume on, I'm going to spray this one right here, and then like a little bit like here. And then I'm just like, because I want to be, I want to feel good about my day and whatnot. But like that was when I really got into like casting spells. Accidentally, to be honest, because I'm superstitious. I'm superstitious in my own way. I'm not like step on a crack and break your mama back type of thing. I've had a black cat. She wasn't particularly mine, but she was ours in our own way, and she was there for like years. So, I'm not superstitious in that way. I believe in a lot of different things, so that was easier for me to understand. I've always believed in magic, and I used to like wish on like charms and stuff like that, and like they would break when it was time for them to break, like, oh, if we're not friends anymore, or like when our friendship ends, or when it's time to move on from this specific person. Like I literally lost this ring that this that my it, I don't like really calling people my ex anymore, because the current person is kind of just wipes out that whole situation, which doesn't wipe out their existence. So if you're watching this, I enjoyed our time together, so don't think of it like that, but I'm sure by now you've wanted to not really be so attached to me as well, because that was something that was hard for a lot of us. It's just like moving on from that person, and living your life, and not that having that person pop up all the time. And I wouldn't say I popped up all the time, but there was one ex specifically where we were friends, and their life kind of took a change, and mine took one too. And so like every time they saw me, I got happier and I looked better and better, and they were still trying to figure out what was going on in their lives, and things weren't necessarily going in the direction that they would want it to go. So I don't really like calling people exes, especially because the people that I've fallen in love with the most, I didn't date them all. Like, so, I just fell in love because I played myself, and that's okay, because we also healed like a boss too. It hurt for a while, but we healed like a boss. So, learn from your mistakes. Don't do it again. Um, So yeah, lost track of exactly why we started talking about exes specifically, but I remember like the whole point of the story. And I also am looking at the card and I'm understanding what I'm talking about right now. Channeling is something. And in general, since my whole life is just a channel, like I am really a channel. Everything is just something. And so, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about House of Intuition, which is not really important, because that part of the story has lost its importance simply because more important stuff started to pop out. But I do recommend that story if you are looking for things that are nice. Like they have different decks, which is cool. They have a lot of different decks. They had a lot of culture, like more cultural based type decks. Not decks like that I would go to maybe Barnes and Noble and want to purchase. I will definitely say that. Like I'm into more I'm just into more flowy art and stuff like that, and messages in general, because I'm able to get the same stuff out of it. But these cards are specifically, they drew my eye because they specifically like talk about the shadow side. But I'm not really like that type of person that'll have like intricate things in there and whatnot, because it just doesn't interest me. But sometimes they do. It depends. You don't know. You don't know until you see it, and you won't know unless you see it. You won't know till you see it, and you won't know unless you see it. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. But yeah, I had Googled House of Intuition, and I already know the layout of the land to begin with. I'm very familiar with it. I'm here often. And so I was like, oh, it should be easy to find. And so like I get off the bus and I'm like looking, and I'm like, I can't see this bitch. Like, where are you? Like I'm looking and I don't see it. And so like I start walking in the wrong direction, and my intuition literally was just like, turn around and go across the street. And so I'm like, okay. Because I was like, la da 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 da. And I was like, all right. And then I turn and I'm looking, and it's like right across the street to the right of me, right there. And I thought that was funny because in the what does it say? In the Google picture, it's shows the back wall. It's like your intuition led you here. And I thought it was hilarious because my intuition really did lead me there because we already knew where it was. So the funny part about it was just like, why did we get lost? And then our intuition straight up led us there. So I told her that when I got in there. The atmosphere of the store might be different if you're someone different, but it is a cool store to be in. And I felt good going in. And in general, like, people just kind of stare at me funny. So it was just a weird vibe. It was kind of a weird vibe, but it wasn't like a bad vibe. I don't like saying weird vibe because I feel like people automatically take it as, bad, but it just was not. I like to be left alone while I'm looking for stuff, but it wasn't like they were following me around or anything like that. I'm just not used to talking to people about what kind of cards I'm gonna get, or like where's this and where's that, because I went to Barnes and Noble to get the certain things, the cards that I went to get, and then we ordered some off of Wish, which they're not full-size cards, so don't try to think that they are. Or no, I ordered those off of Amazon. Make sure they're full-size cards. It doesn't really matter to me. It was more convenient for me, especially now because they're not here with me anymore, so that's different. But yeah, I don't know. People just kind of treat you different depending on where, what you're at. And vibration is something that you can be drawn to the store as a whole, but the people that are in there will learn from you when you go in there. So that's all it really was. And a lot of people might have, different experiences and be like, I had a good experience at that store, and, as you should. And I did not have not a bad, it's like a good experience. I did not have a good experience. That makes sense. So I do recommend it. I didn't spend too much. I think I spent like 30 something. And I bought candles there, which I'm not going to pull out right now. They are kind of broken right now, so they look a hot mess, so they're not very presentable. But I let Spirit kind of just like guide me to what colors I wanted. And I think I actually ended up getting all of them, but we chose them by the way of our passion, like of what we were drawn to, like water, air, earth, spirit, what else is it? Love, pink, God. Like it was like a sun, spirit, orange, yellow. That was what the yellow one was standing for. But in general, like the God one wanted to be the orange one. But to me, yellow and gold actually is more of a God color for me. So I guess that makes sense that we got both of them for that whole situation. We got purple. For basically, it was like purple for me was kind of like a feeling. It was just really just like a feeling, like a milky, velvety, colorful feeling. And so I got that too. I don't know if I have a black one, but if I got a black one, if it was there, I'm more than likely got a black one, because for me, black also represents truth. It reminds me of the obsidian, the onyx stone. And so I was just like, okay. And like the wind got knocked out of me while I was doing it too. Like I was squatting and I was like looking, I was like, huh, Lord have mercy. So yeah, I recommend the store. Google it if you want to. So next, oh, I guess I should mention that too, since this video is gonna get ended at some point, because we're already at 28 minutes of me talking about a lot of stuff actually. Yeah, so the store itself was kind of big, like kind of wider than I liked. I think that's why I didn't really like it. I'm used to not crystal shops in general, but like I've noticed that they're smaller and more kept together, which, probably at this time is better for some people, but I don't care. So that was different for me. And you can't just change the space of the walls and stuff, but it is in a more retail commercial type of space, like place in general. So that has a lot to do with it, because you want to be able to fit more people in there comfortably without dying. I do call the houses here sardine tanks, because for that very reason. And yeah, I was just used to it being smaller. and I was okay with it the way it was. So if you're used to smaller spaces, think about that. And if you don't mind, it's still a good story either way. It worked out. Yeah, I gotta end this video. But yeah, I guess I'll finish explaining this before we get to at least the 31-minute mark. So yeah, it was like my 10 of Cups point at that time. I was with my twin as well, and I never knew that everything was gonna be twisted, all topsy-turvy and stuff. I was just really happy with the, realization of magic. So like, have the kids down here too, and then they got the passions and stuff, and that was when we were really communicating more about like doing something that you love doing because it's crucial to do so. I did not expect to get like separated from them in any way, shape, or form. I really thought that everybody was going to come together at the right point, and then it was just going whoop, because that's what it felt like, and that's what it kept feeling like, and that's what it still feels like. It's such an interesting concept. But just like the Seven of Swords, that was basically them listening to what I was saying and taking my advice, asking me for advice, understanding it, believing it, but still choosing to do other things out of fear. So we'll pull one more card and leave it at that. King of Wands. So yeah, that brings us back to our passions and stuff. So I just had to keep going in that way. And I really hope that I can do more about this. You know what? I think I might continue this on Instagram Live. That sounds like a good idea. What the heck? I'm out here being small. All right. I don't think about these things. I did put my Instagram link up on this channel. We upgraded the dashboard, not the dashboard. We upgraded the layout. There better be a watermark at the bottom of the screen because I watched the video after. Well, I didn't watch it after I got finished like clocking out of the thing. So maybe it was different after that, but everything else was showing up. So I don't know. Changed the profile picture and all of this and all of that. So, if you want to watch more of this, check it out on my Instagram. It'll be on a live. I think those get saved. I'm pretty sure those get saved because I don't think anybody's going to be actually live with me. So you never know. So that's why I said, yeah, the hermit. I really am doing everything by myself right now. Like straight up, ain't nobody watching me. But that's a lie at the same time. They're just not letting me know that they're watching me. Hi. All right. Thank you for being here. I will make another video, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.